It's hard not to be thinking about Kobe Bryant and hopefully all the victims of Sunday's helicopter crash. It's going all over the world. The Empire State Building here in New York lit up in Lakers colors. Philippines, you see the shrine being created in Manila. Friends, coaches, players, fans mourning the death of the Black Mamba. And for all the danger that suggests about him on the court, it was the love that he gave off of it, the sincerity, the intelligence, and the drive that is what's really resonating with somebody who is bigger than the game. Now, Caron Butler, all right, was not only a teammate, but he was a friend. He was a father raising kids with Kobe, a brother, and a mentor. This is why he says Kobe must be remembered. Caron Butler, thank you so much, and I am very sorry to meet you under these circumstances.
Yeah, it's tough. Just been sitting at home this entire day surrounded by loved ones and positive energy and just, reminiscing and sharing stories about, my brother and his beautiful daughter.
Is it helping you to talk about it, to tell people who he was and help really cement the legacy of the man who you knew, let alone the ball player?
Yeah, I think it has helped a lot. I've been crying, I've been emotional, I've been high, I've been low, somewhere in between. My grandmother, a strong woman of faith, she told me, don't ever question the Lord's will and ask why. And in the beginning, I was asking why. I was asking that question. But, now I'm just, trying to find some resolve in this situation and, just tell everyone to pray for the Bryant family and the family of, so many more that lost loved ones in this devastating tragedy.
Yeah, this is, I guess we put something like this under the category of the mystery of faith. We don't know why stuff like this happens. And you just have to trust that there's some meaning somewhere. But the man, the father, the friend that you knew, when'd you meet him?
Yeah, I first met Kobe when I was playing the game of basketball that I love. And I remember in one of the off seasons after my rookie season, I came to Los Angeles and he was training and he was always at, the UCLA facilities and at the Boys and Girls Club. And I, just admired him and I wanted to see his workouts, his legendary blackout sessions, what he was known for. And I just wanted to understand the method to the madness and the secret recipe. And he gave me all the ingredients. He showed me in real time. And not long after that, I was eventually traded and he became my teammate and ultimately my big brother and my mentor and, someone that I can lean upon, in any time.
What was the depth of what he was willing to share and what he meant to you, man to man?
He was everything, man. Honestly, I take numbers and accolades aside. He was just an unbelievable human being. And I think a lot of that get lost in the storytelling when you're talking about Kobe. And he was an unbelievable husband. He was an unbelievable father. He was an unbelievable, confidant, someone that you can just rely upon. He was a guy that elevated the people around him and believed in the people around him. He was a visionary. He saw things before it happened. And I'll never forget our conversation that we had in Sacramento during his farewell tour, where he was talking about all the things that has come into fruition, writing books and being a bestseller, one day holding up an Oscar trophy. He accomplished those things and creating content and giving a platform to his beautiful daughter, Gigi, and creating the Mamba Academy and so many more and inspiring lives. And that's exactly what he was doing, and his work will continue.
Love his kids. They're young, some of them very young. Gigi was the one who had taken, at this point, most to basketball. What was that bond like, and what was it like for him and for her to try and bring her down the path of basketball?
Yeah, it was precious to watch, and it was special. I'm a father of 4 girls myself, and when we had always communicated or text, we was talking about that. I have a daughter as well that loves the game of basketball, and all she was talking about is, going to the next level one day and playing in high school. And he was talking about the importance of fundamentals and spending that time with his daughter, Gigi, and just elevating her and making her understand that you got to put in all that hard work and that sweat equity. And he was with her all the time. That's what brought him back around the game of basketball. Because of her passion, he began to love the game again like he always have. And he started coming around the game more. And he was coming to courtside games to, critique the game and study the game with her.
So it was for him, it was about her, though. And that's the beautiful part about it. When you think about, or as you're starting to come to grips with what you've lost, what is the hardest part for you in this emotionally?
It's like you can't even put it in words. You really can't. Like, I lost a big brother. I lost a friend. I lost someone that was always an asset to my life, far, far away from the game of basketball. And when I arrived in Los Angeles many years ago, back in 2004, he told me that we're going to be friends long after basketball, and we shared a lot of things in common, and he was always just someone that I could rely upon. He made time even when he didn't have time, and that's a true testament to who Kobe Bryant was. And you see the outpour of love all around the world globally, not just in professional sports, but people in all walks of life just talking about what a great person and individual he was. And that's what he stood for. And that's ultimately his legacy. And his legacy will continue through all the loved ones and everybody that was inspired by his hard work.
Now, this may be a little tricky for you, but I've read that he didn't have a lot of basketball buddies. Some people say it was because he was so intellectual and so intense, but you were one of them. What made you special to Kobe?
We just had an honest rapport. We had an honest relationship. I've never been an individual to judge anyone by a conversation that I had with someone else. I always want to see for myself. The narrative was created about me long before, I came on that platform. My adversity that I went through early on in my life. So I never fell victim to that phrase of just judging someone from reputation. And when I immediately arrived to Los Angeles, I just wanted to pick his brain. I played for the legendary Pat Riley, and he was telling me these things, these conversations about how to prepare for the game of basketball. And then fast forward, I come to Los Angeles, and I'm playing with arguably the greatest player ever to play the game of basketball in real time. And I'm watching his preparation. I'm seeing how he's preparing for these big moments that look like routine shots. And I'm just like, man, this dude is on the next level. And I just embraced him, and he embraced me because I never shied away from workouts. I never shied away from being educated or being told the hard, honest truth. And that's how we just jammed immediately.
So what are you telling yourself? How do you make this okay?
It'll never be okay. But I think that in order to move forward, I have to get out my own way. My emotions, my feelings. Like I said, I had some highs, I had some lows. I surrounded myself with a lot of loved ones. And now I'm just thinking about his family.
How to help them.
Thinking about Vanessa. I'm thinking about his kids. Yeah, how to help them, and how to be strong for them. And, I don't want to talk about basketball. I just want to talk about what a great human being he was. And that's what we continue to do. All the stories that we're sharing at the round table with my loved ones are, we just, talking about the moments that we went up and he had Sesame Street at his home and all our kids enjoyed the moment and just stuff like that. So we're just sharing stories and just trying to get through this window of hard time. But forever going forward, it's going to be hard for the Bryant family, but, we have to be there for them, all of us.
That's what friendship is about. What do you think he'd tell you to do?
Man, keep going, CB. Keep going. That was always his advice. He told me to stay goal-oriented. I recall when I felt like I was feeling myself at one point in my career, and I had a major accomplishment, an individual accomplishment, and I was just happy, and I kind of, rested there. And he was like, now what? What you gonna do now? Like, what's next? And then when you do that, what's next after that? So now that we dealt with something so devastating, and the love and the support is there and it's real, and we see how much his legacy meant to the world globally, not just sports. Now what? Now what would you do? Like, what do we have to do together collectively to comfort his family and be there for them? And I think that's what's next.
Karan, I am so sorry for your loss. I hope that the friendship, the lessons, and the stories stay with you. He was so young. You're so young. You have so much lives in front of you. And I hope it helps. I hope it helps on some level for you to achieve what's next, as your friend would have wanted you to do. God bless to you, his family, and your own.
Thank you. Appreciate it.